All right, good morning, everyone. It's going to be maybe a 10 to 15-minute live. Or Justin is going to check out his Wi-Fi since he's traveling around enjoying financial freedom. But welcome, Justin.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited to see if this works out. I'm on a cruise ship somewhere in off the coast of Mexico.
Well, so far so good. But yeah, I figured maybe we can just touch on. I did see Zuber post something in school the other day. He's been on this health kick
Mhm.
for about a year now. Almost got to his goal of 10% body fat, I believe, in 2025. But I know last time you're out in Hawaii, we were kind of talking about it too. But you're kind of maybe also looking to focus on your health this year, right? But the question was, is it easier to get healthy or easier to get wealthy? You have any thoughts on that?
Mm. It feels like, speaking as of today, we're easier to get wealthy in my mind, and I mean, there is more drugs and medication out there to help you lose weight, but I've been trying to get down. I'm probably in the tune of 165, 170. Been trying to get to 155 for a couple years. To me, that's like an ideal weight because once you get financial freedom, you want to be able to live and enjoy your life. And if you're fit, you're gonna last longer and live longer. But when you go on these like epic trips and everything, a lot of them require you to walk around and get around. So, you know, definitely, I would say for me personally, it'd been easier to get wealthy than healthy. But 2026, that's the goal is to focus on the weight this year.
It seems like that's the path for a lot of people though, right? They may be really focusing on their wealth at one point and maybe the health kind of slips to the side. And I definitely feel that way. But once they get that financial freedom, then it's a lot easier to refocus things on your health. And the hard part though is a lot of times I forgot how they actually put it, but getting wealthy is a lot easier to maybe maintain, right? Once you
Hmm.
get there, right? The assets stay there. But health is one of those things, you may get to a certain point, but then if you take a short period off, I mean, a lot of those gains seem to disappear, right? So that's the hard part is the healthy side is really consistency and discipline, right?
100%. I know that when I was, really in the growth phase on the wealth side, that really comes down to the volume of effort you're putting in. So, which takes time away from working out. The other thing is that for me, I remember just like being drained. Getting up early, working the day job and building the portfolio. I was just mentally taxed by the end of the day. So like when I was really in the growth phase, probably the heaviest I ever was, I was like 185 or something like that. And so 185 on being 5'6" is pretty heavy. So lately, I've been trying to get down, and I was last year doing really well. Like I got down close to 155, and then I had a series of problems with portfolio stuff, and I got super stressed out, and I went from like 155 back to 175 within like a matter of a month. So it's something that you have to do every day, which Zuber is amazing at that. Where consistently every day he's putting out the content. So for him to his consistency is what helps. I think I could see the transformation over time, especially when you see him in person. From when I very first met him a couple years ago, and then I saw him in October, and he was looking really good. I mean, not only thinner, but definitely, you could tell that his arms are getting bigger and everything.
Yeah, I was giving him a hard time the other day because he did share his, I believe it from the year one might have been the ORAD event. They got a kind of a little promotion for it. And I was like, man, it must have been hard for you to put that out there because you're like a completely different physique looking person. He's like, yeah, man, I was a fatty back then. And it's hard for him to look at himself. But I mean, it's definitely an example. Like I said, he's hit his financial freedom and now being able to focus his time on a lot of other things. And I think you see it a lot now. You see a lot more of these, not necessarily real estate, but real estate stocks. But
Mhm.
they are dedicating more content now to health related things, right? And I'm not
Mhm.
sure for you because I think people don't know, and I've heard quite a bit about it. But you are a pretty skilled soccer player too, right? So is that something that's always been a part of you too, in the fitness side, and maybe like you said, your portfolio was doing certain things, and you kind of had to put all of that on the back burner?
Yeah, for me, like, growing up, for me, I definitely played a lot of sports, soccer being one of them. And then later in life, I got into hockey as well. So, like, exercise for me is way easier if I'm chasing something, the ball, the puck, or something like that. But in the last like 2 years, I've maybe played hockey one or two times, soccer one or two times. Been shifting a lot of the time into traveling a lot more. So, for example, like last year was, I think it was 151 days of travel, and so the goal this year is, how do I travel, keep the portfolio going, and also I'm real estate agent business, growing that, but then maintaining this consistent workout schedule. So, Cindy, my fiance, and I are tracking weekly now how many days we're working out. So my most of my workouts now, for example, I'm on a cruise ship. So I just do, of the, let's see, we're on like day 5, I think. Of the 5 days, I've worked out 3 of the 5 days. So then it's nothing major. I just do treadmill, and then I'll do like, maybe 4 or 5 sets of one body part. And lately now I'm trying to do Spanish too. So I'm not eating on the treadmill. I'll be at like 15 degree, maybe 3 miles per hour, and I'm on my Babbel. I'm on my phone doing Babbel, which is to help me learn Spanish at the same time. So I try to multitask as much as possible.
I see Nicole tuning in, and she says, yeah, her husband plays hockey and soccer too. With 4 kids, it's definitely gotten harder for him.
Mhm. Yeah, I think the being a soccer player helps. Skating is definitely hard, but I think, playing with your feet and soccer definitely helps you pick up skating, and so it's a nice transition. I really like playing hockey, and that's a full contact. Now, where I'm in an adult league, it's no contact, but you're still, bumping up against people and everything, to where you're using a lot more of your muscles through the whole thing. So like 30 to 45-second shift is like, I'm gassed after that.
Have you ever played with Anna Kay? Is she? Do you know who Anna? She's kind of in the one rent at a time community. I know she plays hockey also, and people are just like, "Man, that's impressive."
Yeah,
Um,
some of the women on there are really good because, well, I'm in co-ed as well. The ones that did figure skating when they're younger are, because most, like for me, I didn't learn how to skate until I was mid 20s, right? So, you know, for women that were ice skaters, they tend to be faster, they're lighter, and then they have, the ones that have been ice skating can skate around, people like me. So they definitely can be really good on co-ed teams.
Flavio says he can show you Spanish. Nicole also says, "I thought you were gonna say helps your agility with chasing kids, but no kids for
Oh,
you yet, right? That's the next
no.
possible thing."
No,
But
we're past the kid phase. So like for me, I'm 46. My fiance is 52. So yeah, you know, that'd be like super geriatric baby. So we're just fun aunt, fun uncle. We go see my brother's kids. They're a couple hours away. We try to go see them once a month. So we'll go to Yakima for Friday, Saturday, and then come back home, hang out on Sunday at home. That's our kid fix, you know.
you can give it back, right? You can have fun with them and
Yeah.
give them back, right? But so you and Millennial Mike both have successful real estate portfolios, but I think people may want to know, both of you do play soccer. If you were to play, who is better at soccer? Who would beat um, the other one in soccer?
I mean, I think I am more skilled, but he's got better motor, for sure. I've played with him a couple times. He organizes a pickup soccer south of Seattle, maybe about a half hour, 45 minutes. So when I was living in Seattle, I'd play, a couple times here and there with him. But since I moved north of Seattle now, it's almost 2 hours to get to the to where he plays at. So, um, but skill wise, I would say I have better skill, but in terms of endurance and stamina, he's got me beat hands down.
Everyone, as you can see, Justin is traveling right now, so we're actually just kind of testing out his Wi-Fi because he will be joining me on the live stream with Emily Lopez tomorrow. But he's also streaming on a regular basis now on Wednesdays at what is it, 8 a.m. Pacific with Cody Davis.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. We were on yesterday morning. I was in port, so Wi-Fi was fine in port, but we're on the water right now. So it looks like we paid for the higher Wi-Fi version. And so far, it looks like it's working.
Business write-off.
Hmm.
But you can also go check out his channel. I haven't had a chance to look, but he should be streaming right now also on his YouTube channel. So W2 to
Hmm.
Freedom. Go subscribe there if you can, or if you haven't yet. Curtis is tuning in, who is doing that W2 thing, so he's not able to live stream with me much anymore. But he says, Justin, thoughts on Lewis County looking at a deal there?
So Lewis County, I like Lewis County. I mean, if you get a look at my portfolio, I'm all across the U.S., right? And so I'm open to going a little bit further for better cash flow. And if I remember right, I think Dion might be in Lewis County as well, where there's a little bit more, there's less people competing in these like tertiary markets. So if you can find a deal there, now I would want a higher return if I'm going a little bit further out, especially if you're have a property manager, because you want to make sure that it's profitable if it's being managed by a third party. But Lewis County, I don't see, as long as the other thing, I'll put the caveat there. So when I'm investing in another area, if I'm not a familiar with that area, I'll go there first and to make sure I know good part of town, bad part of town. So, for example, like when I was buying this one seller, I had bought a property in Milwaukee, and then she had another property in Sheboygan and another one in Fond du Lac, which are north and west of Milwaukee. So I flew into Milwaukee. I went and drove the areas, hung out, talked to people in the city, hung out at the bar, to kind of get the lay of the land of the cities and before I made the purchases. So definitely, if you're in going to Lewis County, understand specifically the economic drivers and then the good and bad parts of town.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna just say something. Shoot, sorry, lost my train of thought. We were talking about if you're looking for comfort, this might not be for you.
No, that
Hmm.
was your tagline in the for
Oh,
the meeting.
I just had to put something together quickly because we wanted to test out Justin's Wi-Fi. So we were just gonna try to kind of wing it today. So it's gonna be a short one, but he will be joining me tomorrow with Emily Lopez. I know what I was gonna mention. For those of you that haven't or are still on the fence of going to the Vegas event, Zuber did confirm that I believe there's about 18 tickets left. So he did close ticket sales on January 15th, but they did purchase 20 more. So for people that may want to buy after, so that was on recommendation of TY. So ticket sales are officially closed, but there's still, I believe, 18 tickets left if people were still thinking about going. And yeah, I don't know. Anything else you wanna? The Wi-Fi seems to be working well. I mean, this is what your portfolio allows you to do, right? Travel around, do live streams, and have some fun. So where are you again? I don't know if you mentioned where are you exactly, and
So we
where you
left
guys
Puerto
headed?
Vallarta yesterday. So we're coming up what is that? The western side of Mexico, and then so we're 2 days on water all the way back. Saturday morning we get back into San Diego, and then fly back into Seattle. So, but in terms of, I'm excited about tomorrow. I've seen Emily on your channel a couple times, live streaming, but I haven't met her virtually or in person yet. And so I'm excited because I think she's got an agent business as well,
Yeah.
and she's got a lot of followers on Instagram. So want to learn from her what she's doing to build her brand and her business.
Yeah, Emily is great. So she has her own brokerage in Wyoming. She has
Mhm.
a big DIY channel, but she's trying to build an actual more real estate focused channel because I think a lot of people on her DIY side they don't like the real estate content. They just want to give her shit that she's a female trying to be a contractor on her DIY side. So she gets a lot of hate on that. I mean, interaction, I should say, but she's trying to bring up her real estate focus side. So yeah, she's great. I love having her on. Accidental Landlord is asking, what is the Las Vegas headcount so far, roughly? I believe it's probably around 300. That's what, if I had to guess, we're probably around probably 275, 300. Cody is asking, hey, oh, sorry, Charles Face for Radio here. Yeah, that's an inside joke. They said Charles has a great voice, and I told him he has a face for radio, though. But Cody Evers is asking, Justin, did you divest completely from Wisconsin?
No, I still have about half the portfolio. Maybe a third to a half is in Wisconsin. So, although my main agent that's over there, he has somebody who's looking to buy like chunks of properties. So I have one partnership left where we have, see, 16, 20, 26 units. So I'll put it out there. I'll price if that they're open to that price. I might sell, which that would be, 26 and maybe a 20% or 30% of the portfolio. And then I would have no partnerships, and everything I would still have stuff for me personally in Milwaukee. But it's one of those where, if we can get an offer for all of the properties together, I just talked with the partnership yesterday, and they're open to it. So we just got to put a number to it. If they say yes and we can come to terms, I think that'd be a win-win for everybody.
What parts of Wisconsin? Just Milwaukee, Cody's asking?
So the biggest is Milwaukee, but I have one in Fond du Lac and one in Sheboygan. Sheboygan is I think it's 9 unit. And then the one in Fond du Lac is kind of a unique one there. A church, I believe, used to own it. So it's got a bunch of, it's like almost like a dorm room setup, to where it's got a huge living space in the bottom, big kitchen in the bottom, and one bedroom. And then the top has like 8 dorm rooms. So the thought was like, let me cash flow as is, and then I could switch it all over to Airbnb, boarding house, assisted living. So there's tons of options with that one. And then there's one other city. I used to be in Racine, which Racine was going to be the home. They were going to do a bunch. Gosh, I forget. I think it was Foxconn. Was going to put a bunch of stuff in Racine, which they started to, and they built all the infrastructure, but I don't think any of the actual manufacturing of, I think it was LCD displays or something like that. I don't think it ever fruition. So I ended up selling the 2 I had in Racine. But I do like another. I also looked at, gosh, what's the one? I'm drawing a blank on the name, but it's right across from Illinois' border. There's another large city there. I looked at that one as well. Ended up not buying there because my property manager didn't go down to that city at the time.
You know Cody, right? Big Cody Evers.
Oh yeah.
He says he'd be interested in the ones in Sheboygan or Fondy if you ever want to let those go. So there you go. You can send him. And Cody is super happy because Indiana won the national championship, and Cody played at Indiana. I'm not sure what year, but Cody was a football player there. Man,
he didn't go now because he probably would have got NIL money, man. He'd have, because these college players, I mean, the top ones are getting $1 million plus a year. It's crazy.
Jen is actually in Seattle, but unfortunately, Justin is traveling right now, but he is not in Seattle right now. But he does have monthly meetups. I believe he's starting. When's the next one for that?
Next one, I believe, is the 9th. It's usually, we're doing the second Monday. I'm just seeing if I can pull it up on my phone. The second Monday of every month. Let's see. Yep, 2/9 is the next one. I am back Saturday night. I don't know how. And I think Jen, or I believe that's the lady I met, her and her husband at Thatch's event.
Yep. So Jen and Kenny. Jen's in Seattle right now. So my guest on Monday was also MJ. He's in Chicago, and he was saying he For the Vegas event, one day he would like Thatch to be a speaker, but I said this year we have the next best thing to Thatch. We have Justin Canberra, who's a part of Thatch's coaching program. So Justin will be there, filling Thatch's spot in Vegas this year. We'll wrap it up with this because, like I said, this was just going to be a short one to test out your Wi-Fi. Herman is here. Herman, if Justin doesn't get to answer your question completely, make sure you tune in tomorrow, 7:45 a.m. Pacific. Justin will be on the live stream again tomorrow. But Herman is asking, how quick do you build your portfolio? What's your thoughts, Justin?
How quick do you build your portfolio? Okay. There's what I did. And this is Cody and I, Cody Davis and I, very similar, like 0 to 100 as fast as possible. So I would say it might have been like 4 to 5 years. I was at 100 units, and then at the end, in the 6 years when I left Amazon, it was 145 units. Now, in hindsight, looking at that, I probably would have stabilized things better because I just kept buying and expanding the portfolio into multiple different cities, different states, and partnerships and all that. So if I was to rebuild today, I'd be a little bit more strategic about it, and not do as many cities and get better quality assets to start. The stuff I was buying on market, it was the prototypical, and this is what, so it would have been 2018 to 2020, like duplexes were going for 60s to 80s, somewhere in there. So let's just say it's 80,000, so 40,000 a unit, right? And that's now probably double. It's probably close to 70 to 80 per unit in Milwaukee. But a lot of those were in C-class areas, and the amount of turnover and the repairs and maintenance has just been way higher than put into the pro forma. So over time, I've been trying to get rid of those. As I'm buying stuff locally in the Seattle area, I'm trying to 1031 and getting better stuff. So like the last one I was on basically January 1st. That one is a newer building, recently renovated, new roof in it. Knock on wood, shouldn't have to do anything. The hot water heater, I know that I got to replace, but outside of that, in theory, don't have to do anything for 5 years, 10 years maybe, versus some of my Midwest stuff. When you buy buildings that are over 100 years old, you're constantly updating something. And so the expense ratio ends up being much higher than you anticipate. So back to your original question, I would, and this is what I'm doing now with coaching clients. So I have a client that just bought a triplex, and so they want to buy another one. I'm like, okay, the first one, it was a fully renovated, and it's like, okay, first let's get that filled with the 3 tenants, and then make sure you have, okay, then let's go buy. So they're doing the stabilizing right now, and we have a meeting first week of February. So the goal is to get that stabilized and start looking. If I would have done that in the past, I probably would have had a much more stable portfolio and probably would have shifted out of C-class faster. But I was just buying, and even if it was issues were coming up, the Amazon income was just filling the holes, right? So you want to make sure that's stabilized income, so when you do leave your W-2, you can actually use that income.
All right, great answer. Like I said, everyone, tune in tomorrow, 7:45 a.m. Pacific. Justin will be back with my Friday regular, Emily Lopez. And Herman, I'll just quickly say, you really got to know yourself. I definitely agree with Justin. Ideally, you want to let things stabilize each property first. But I would say, like I said, know yourself. Go as quickly as you feel comfortable, but also make sure you have the reserves to allow you to move quickly. And then that'll be my kind of short, quick answer to that. But yeah, I think the Wi-Fi works great. I think it'll work out tomorrow. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, man. Everyone,
Awesome,
thanks for tuning in, and see you folks tomorrow. Thanks.
See ya.